Good morning. Love your sweater, Haley.
I had to roll up the sleeves because it was getting too warm.
Oh my gosh, I'm freezing, so I'm fine, but I'm not outside or near where it would be warm. My last class, they were saying it's going to be 80 degrees today, and I'm like, then I guess I'm not going outside because I'm wearing my sweater all day. We'll start in a couple minutes. Just going to join on my iPad. If you guys have any questions about the final project, you could ask them now. Does everybody figure out how to sign up? I didn't verify yet. Everybody signed up. I will do that shortly. Nobody has any questions. That's shocking. I did put in all the zeros except for the vehicle projects. I don't think I put those in yet. So you should be able to put in an exact number that you could get on both of those and see what grade you will earn in the class or what grade you possibly earn in the class. I know some people like to do that. So you can totally do that. Make sure, remember tomorrow is a work day unless we have some volunteers that couldn't do Thursday or Monday, like there wasn't enough time slots. I can check our time slots just a second, but otherwise the plan is to just for it to be a work day, which means some of you, if you've already finished it, that's awesome. Still come to class because you can share it with your team and you can say, can you double check my math? Let's go through my rubric and make sure I meet all the criteria. And then I'm going to do a little practice run through. So then on Thursday or Monday, whenever you're presenting, it's not your very first time going through that. And a couple people in my last class asked, what if my slides, what if I have a couple extra slides? Is that okay? We're just on a time limit, so we need to go as quickly as we can. If you have fewer slides, that's fine too. And then what else did someone ask? I'm trying to remember. Oh, if you're recording audio ahead of time, I don't have to face. when you record, it can just be an audio overlay in PowerPoint or Google Slides, however you know how to do that. It's not required. You can just do it live too. But that's another reason why you should practice, because sometimes we get a little bit nervous, and so you'll want to make sure that you know what you're going to say. The other thing is, it doesn't have to just be like talking at the class. You can do kind of like what I do when I teach, where I give a little information, then I ask a question. You can do 3-2-1 chess in your presentation. You can do whatever you want, to kind of make it a little less nervous for you, right? They're going to be short. They're not going to be super long. So any questions on that final presentation? Okay. Well, it's ugly sweater time. Can you see my screen? Did you like that sweater? I wish my sweater looked like that. And I don't even think the sweaters are ugly. So there we go. So that's just me. Like, I wear that sweater. I would. It's true. Okay, so I'll do mine. Can you read it? I know. It's hilarious. You appreciate it. So I don't know if anyone recognizes these. Hopefully not. If you do, just chat me about it. But they're snowflakes for me. That's what they are. They're snowflakes. So they're, I see Haley's. Haley, is that the Minnie Mouse you saw the other day? There you go. Let us see the whole thing. Oh, so cute. Is it real thick and warm? Nice. Excellent. Okay, Frida, do you have a Christmassy thing on? Or is it just red? Show it to me anyway, because it's red. I appreciate it. Oh, nice. Does it say Sonora? Did I read it right? Okay, good. Making sure. Excellent. Okay, Yamalit, you also have red on. A day, or is it just red?
It's just red. Sorry.
Is it plain, or is there on it?
Yeah, it's plain.
Oh, nice. Looks comfy. Okay, Corinne, I think kind of red, maybe not, but close. What's on your shirt?
Star Wars, so it's a little RTD2 Christmas sweater one.
Oh, yeah. It is so Christmas sweatery. I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Excellent. Okay, Joya, what does yours say? Yours looks like scary font.
Mine isn't a Christmas sweater, but it is a sweater. I don't own any Christmas sweaters. Here, it's a Dark Hall coffee shirt. It's a little skeleton in a coffee cup. Oh, wait. My friend threw me her Christmas sweater, so I can just hold it up.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's okay. I appreciate that. You have a good friend there. Okay, so Dark Hall Coffee, am I supposed to know that?
It's a coffee place downtown. I just get matchas from there sometimes, but I like Cha-Cha's better. I like, it's a place called Cha-Cha's Tea Lounge. I like that place better, but I just got this from Dark Hall because I thought it was cool. They have like vegan pastries and stuff. Didn't you say your like daughter was like a vegetarian or something?
Yeah.
But also Cha-Cha's does too, so I feel like just go to Cha-Cha's.
Okay. Well, then decision made. That's where I'll go for sure.
There also next to Cha-Cha's is a vegan and vegetarian restaurant that's really good, and they sell like really, really good tacos with really good like meat. Like I had a shrimp taco from there one time, and it tasted actually just like shrimp.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, Jose, you're up. Let me see your Christmas shirt. Oh, it would be even cuter if it was Baby Yoda. Let me just say that, right?
Well, yeah, I got it before the Mandalorian started coming out, so there was no Baby Yoda.
I know, but I bet there's a Christmas, right? Baby Yoda stuff. Hey, spoil it for me. I'm a couple episodes behind. Don't tell me anything. I'll catch up today. I promise. Maybe. Yeah, I think I'm 3. How many episodes, Nicole? 4? I think I'm 4. Look at our friends came to visit. Okay. He's gonna go away. Okay, I will be shocked. Don't tell me though. Don't tell me. Okay. Who else had one? A Christmas shirt? No one? Cameron, I like to tie dye. Anyone else just have a fun shirt to share? Okay. I appreciate the festivity, and we are some wonderful people. If you have questions, just let me know. I have office hours tomorrow night. We are going to work on measurement conversions today. So is our work day on our project. Okay, so tomorrow in class is our work day. This is what I really. One accurate measurement is worth expert opinions. By Gregory Howe. You guys don't appreciate it near as much as I do, but it's okay because that's my job. Okay. We're going to go over quickly. We barely talked about a little bit of math yesterday, and we're going to talk about today. You can type it in the chat if you want. I can't find my Apple Pencil. You can type, oh, I found it in the chat if you want. So discuss units of measurement in the U.S. customs system for the example. Like, yeah, we talked about feet and inches for length. Do you have any others? And you can tell me length, mass, or capacity. And the other word for capacity, by the way, is volume. And the other word for mass is weight. So if those words are more familiar to you. Okay, so miles from Caden. And then Morgan gave us these two, CM and MM. Are those the US customary system or are they a different system? Yeah, they're the metric system. So we are going to talk about those today too, Morgan, but those are the metric system. So we'll write over here, actually, we'll just draw a line right here and we'll say the metric system over here. So centimeters and millimeters. And then I see in the chat, kilograms. Again, that's the metric system. So we're going to put that here. Kilometers, that's going to go up here. Pounds for mass, very nice. Meter, that's the metric system. Pounds, ounces. So ounces, we have two choices. We can do ounces here, or we could do fluid ounces, right? Because we have different kinds of ounces. Liters, that goes over here in the metric system. Liters. And then cups. Somebody said ounces. Oh, what's CC? Do you know? Anyone know what CC stands for?
Cubic centimeters.
Closed captions. I love Jose. I'm thinking cubic centimeters. Is that what CC's is?
Cubic centimeters.
I'm gonna look it up. It's gonna say closed captions. Yes. 1,000 cubic centimeters equal 1 liter. So CC are cubic centimeters. Yay. Excellent. And creative comments. I appreciate that. Okay. So pints would go down here. Tons would go here. So here's what's interesting is a lot of you listed the metric system, even though we were really only talking about the US customary system. So what that says is if you grew up here in the United States, you probably don't know either of them very well. Because we learn a little bit of both, right? And some of you might know a lot. If I asked you hard questions, right? Oh, metric system is better. A lot of people think that we use the metric system exclusively in science. right? So when we do science, it's a universal thing that everybody's going to work in the metric system. So if you do any research, anything like that, it's all going to be in the metric system. Now, what's interesting on your products, and you have that you buy, it'll have both on it. It'll have the US and the metric system on it. And that's because things are usually shipped internationally, right? But these conversions are really important. So there's one way you can do it, and that's very helpful. You probably learned different ways, but this is just one way I'm going to show you. Some of you might have heard of it called units conversion, okay, instead of the factor label method. But I'll show you, if we have somebody who's 5'10", and we want to know how many inches that is. Did we do this briefly yesterday? I feel like we did it for like 5 seconds, so maybe I dreamed it. Okay, so here's one way you do it. Hold on. So we already know that there's 10 inches in the person's height. So we don't have to worry about the 10 inches part. We already have that in inches. So we have to worry about the 5 feet part, okay? So the 5 feet part, if you notice, I wrote 5 feet in a numerator, and then I wrote it over 1. Still means 5 feet. The only reason I wrote it over 1 is because when you're working on paper, it's easier when you're multiplying a fraction times a fraction, okay? When you're setting it up, it'll also help you see where the units go. Yes, you probably did this in chemistry in 10th grade. Yes. And those of you who are going into nursing and you have to take the HESI exam, raise your hand if that's you. You still have to take the HESI? Yeah, this is all on the HESI, just so you know. So this is really good studying for the HESI. Yep. And we actually have winter boot camps coming up that you could sign up for too. But notice that I wrote 5 feet. And then over here, we know this is your conversion factor, right? We know that there are 12 inches in a foot, or I hope we know that, right? So notice that I have the same unit denominator to this numerator. So those units simplify, and I'm left with inches. So that's what you want to do. You want to put the units you want to keep in the numerator. The ones you want to get rid of go in the denominator. Then we're going to multiply across and we get 60 inches. But remember, we already had 10 inches. So 5 feet, 10 inches is 70 inches. Okay, the nice thing about this factor label method, it works for anything. It works for the metric system. It works for the US system, okay? So you don't have to remember a different, okay. What if we go the other way? What if a person is 74 inches tall? How tall are they in feet and inches? So this time I want my ends and inches. So I'm going to write 74 inches over 1 because I'm going to use the factor label method. You don't have to, but I'm showing you a method that always works. Times, since I want to get rid of inches, I'm going to put inches on the bottom. And so there's 12 inches in 1 foot. Now, I know a lot of you would go, I'm just going to divide 74 by 12, right? You wouldn't write all this out. You would know that in your head. I'm fine with that. So 74 over 12, and that's feet. But this probably should be simplified. I'm going to have you guys simplify that. Remember, I want my answer to say this many feet and this many inches. See if you can simplify that and put it in the chat. We'll do a 3, 2, 1. Don't hit enter yet. All right, you got it? Let's do it. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so I see a lot of people got the answer 6 feet 2 inches, right? But then I see a couple who wrote this 6 feet and they just wrote a 2. What needs to go by the 2? Yeah, 2 little marks there. Very nice, Mason. Right, so that means 6 feet 2 inches. Make sure you have units on everything. Now, I have a question. Is 6 feet 2 inches the same as 6.2? Are those the same? No, they are not the same. So be careful when your calculator gives you that, when you did it on your calculator, 74 divided by 12, it gave you 6.16666. And a lot of you were like, what do I do now? Well, if it asks you for feet and inches, you're going to have to figure that out. So it is not equivalent. How do you figure it out? Well, you already know you have 6 feet. So if you have 6 times 12, right? 6 feet times 12 inches per foot, that's going to give you 72 inches. How many inches are left over? That's where the 2 comes from. Okay, if you did long division, you would see it 74 divided by 12, 72. You subtract this remainder is your number of inches. Okay, that remainder is your number of inches. Does that help? Yeah, don't round. Math is exact. I wouldn't want you as my engineer or my carpenter, or God forbid, my nurse, right? So be careful, don't round.
I have
Okay,
a question.
I'm ready, Laura.
So what I did is that I first divided 74 by 12. So I got 6.16666. But then that 0.16, what I did is converted back to inches. So I multiplied it by 12 and I got 1.92. So it's not exactly 2. Should I round up in that case, or what should I do?
Yeah, so it is exactly 2. The problem is at some point your calculator's rounding. If you put in as many digits as you can, I don't think you can see that, but I put in 0.1666666 all the way to the end of my calculator, and then I multiplied it by 12, and I got 2. So that's another way you can do it. But yeah, so, or you can double check it the way we just checked it by multiplying 6 times 12 and then seeing that there's 2 inches left over. Okay. This is really important, especially depending on what you're going into. So I gave you an example here. You're going to see that I gave a lot of examples that we're not going to go over today, but I'm posting all the slides because I know some of you are studying for the HESI exam and it'll help you in the future. Okay. Or if you have to take chemistry for your degree, all of this will help you in the future. So we've talked a little bit about length, weight, and capacity. We could see how well you fill in these things. Like, these are my favorite. Okay, I think we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. Does anyone know 1 yard is how many feet? Does anyone know that? 3, Caden's all over it. Mason, very nice. Brianna, Alyssa, very nice. Does anybody know how many feet there are in a mile? Oh, Caden's all over it. That's why Caden looked insulted when I said we don't know the US system. That's awesome. Do you guys, Caden, Haley, and Alyssa, who got it that it's 5,280 feet in 1 mile, do you know why you know that? Like, did your teacher make you memorize it, or is there some other reason? I just remember 5 tomato. What does 5 tomato mean? So your teacher must have taught you that, right? Or your parents? Ah, there you go. That makes sense. And then running, you might do it. Excellent. And you know, the other people I found that know that is people from Denver, Colorado. Why would it be if they know it, if they're from Denver, Colorado? It's the Mile High City, very nice. And so there's like a bar in downtown and restaurants in downtown Denver called the 5280. So that's why some people know that. I did not know about 5 tomato, but I'm so excited right now. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I have all these charts in here for you. And again, the factor label method just works. Does anyone know how many ounces are in a pound? "16 ounces in a pound." Very nice. Does anybody know how many pounds in a ton? Very nice. What do we measure in tons? Any ideas what we would measure in tons? Shipping containers. Excellent. Commercial trucks. Yep. Machines. Elephants. Nobody wants to measure elephants. We do measure them in tons. It's true. I love your face, Laura. It's true. And cars. Very nice. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but in Arizona, our registration is based on the value of our vehicle, right? That's how we pay our car registration. But in other states, it's based on the weight of your vehicle, because they feel like the heavier your vehicle is, the more damage it will do to the road, you know, especially in bad weather conditions, just so they measure that in tons. And I have all these for you. Nice. Okay. Can you try this one? How many ounces are in 4 pounds? How many ounces are in 4 pounds? Remember, just in case you didn't hear that, there are 16 ounces in 1 pound. Very nice. Excellent. So a lot of you can do these conversions. It's not a problem. But some of you, if you're struggling, this factor label method will work every time. Notice I put 4 pounds over 1 times 16 ounces because that's what I wanted. And then over 1 pound. So my pound units simplify and I'm left with just ounces. So I ended up just multiplying 4 times 16 and getting 64. Excellent. This is one of my favorites. Does anyone know all of these? Any brave soul know all of these? So in other words, how many ounces are in a cup? How many cups are in a pint? How many pints are in a quart? How many quarts are in a gallon? I don't want it from your fridge, Morgan. I want it from here. Alyssa, tell me about Gallon Man. I love Gallon Man. Did you have a story with Gallon Man, or did you just have this big picture like this? We just drew a Gallon Man. All right. Some people hear it as a story, and the story is about a kingdom. So we're in the kingdom of Gallon. And in this kingdom, there are 4 queens. And each queen has 2 princesses. And each princess has 2 cats. Kind of like 5 tomato, right? It's just a little story. Okay. So that now you can see that there are 4 quarts in a gallon. There are 2 pints in a quart, and there are 2 cups in a pint. The only thing that this doesn't show is that there's 8 ounces in a cup. Okay. So if you've never seen Gallon Man before, the only difference, Alyssa could verify, they draw a little man down here, which I can't draw. There you go. So, but Gallon Man, if you've never learned the big G or Gallon Man, and you need to take the Hesse, it's a great one to remember. Okay. Caden, I think it's 128. Yeah. All right. And you'll see I have all this on this next one. So you could see all those relationships. So when I post the slides after, you're all set. So how many gallons are in 48 cups? How many gallons are in 48 cups? And I'll put a conversion chart in the chat for you so you can review these things. Here's a conversion chart for you. And on that conversion chart, we have the US system, the metric system, and we have going between the two systems. Very nice. I'm getting lots of answers there. 3 gallons. If you want to see how to do it on the factor label method, there it is. How did I know there were 16 cups in a gallon? I just went back to Gallon Man and I did 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I could tell that it was 16. I didn't have to memorize that because I have Gallon Man in my head. All right. What's the difference between the US system and the customary system? Sorry, the US system, which is the customary system, and the metric system. What's the difference between them besides the metric system is better? Very nice. Metric system isn't random. It used powers of 10, right? 10, 100, 1,000. So that's what the metric system does. And we use the metric system here. If you've ever bought a liter or a 2 liter of something, that's the metric system, right? If you've ever taken medication, it's measured in milligrams, right? That's the metric system, right? So if you've ever run a 5K, yeah, that's the metric system. So I have more information here for you. But the biggest thing you need to remember is these prefixes. So the prefixes in the metric system are the same no matter if you're measuring length, mass, or capacity. So we use those 3 base units of meter, liter, gram for those. And then the only thing we change is those prefixes. Did anyone learn a fun way to remember the prefixes? Haley, I'm counting on you. King Henry, who's saying King Henry? Gino? All right, so this is King Henry. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. I love the one. There are other ones. So King Henry died mad drinking chocolate milk. Okay, totally fine. This, you don't have to memorize this, but just for some people, they've heard of this before. The reason I use by is because it's for base unit. And the base unit is meter, liter, or grams. So that's why I use a B. By the way, this is not a history class. That is not true. King Henry did not die by drinking chocolate milk. Yeah. So, and if you're thinking that it was Nana's chocolate milk, which is why King Henry died, maybe. Remember, she was kind of a pistol. It was too chocolatey for King Henry. He died. So, so your base units won't have a prefix. It'll just have an M, a G, or an L, right? But when you look at these other ones, kilo means 1,000. So a kilometer is 1,000 times larger than a meter. Hecto means 100, so it's 100 times larger. Deca means 10. Deci means 1/10, so it's smaller. Centi means 100th, and milli means 1,000th. So you can see how our decimals are getting smaller. This is an example of grams. Okay. Okay. All right. So how many of you learned to convert in the metric system by doing something like this? Yeah. Anyone who learned that, if you're good at it, I'm not going to try to change you. No worries there. The only worry is sometimes we go backwards really easily. And so you really have to think and check into the problem. By the way, you can use the factor label method. I know some of you will think this is a waste of time. However, if I do just do it however you want, half the class is going to get it wrong. So I want to show you the factor label method. So here's 3 problems. If you just want to do them, that's fine. But I'm going to do this first one with the factor label method. So right now we're here at meters. I want to go to centimeters. So some of you know, oh, I know what that means. Since centimeters are smaller than meters, I'm going to have more centimeters than I do meters, right? And you might know that 2 place values is 100 times smaller, right? So I could multiply by 100, but some of you don't have that quite yet. So you can use the factor label method. You can look at that conversion sheet and see those conversions. So 9 meters over 1 times, I'm getting rid of meters, so I'm going to write it on the bottom. I want centimeters, so I'm going to write that on the top because these meters are going to simplify and I'm going to be left with centimeters. So if I look, since it's 2 places away, there must be 100 centimeters in 1 meter. And so my answer is going to be 900 centimeters. Yes? And some of you did something like this. You had a 9 here. You would put your decimal point to the right of it because that's still 9. And then since you're moving 2 place values, you shift it 2 to the right and you add 2 zeros. That will always work as long as you're doing it correctly, right? So, but some people get confused. So this is a method or this is a method, doesn't matter. Why don't you try the next 2? Try numbers 2 and 3. If you want to privately check, you can. Laura, yes. Matt, yes. Gino, yes. Mason, yes. Brianna, yes. Morgan, yes. Melissa, yes. Yamalis, yes. Jose, Jeree, yes. There you go, Haley. Cheyenne, we were doing 2 and 3. We already did 1. Joya, Derek, Alyssa, yes. All right. So let's look at the answers. Whoops. To this. 2 meters and then 5,000 meters. If you think of which one is the bigger one and which one is the smaller one, it definitely will help you. Any questions on that? No. Okay, I'm going to give you, so the rest of these slides go over converting between two systems, and you can review those after if you want. I'm going to give you a handout that I want you to try. It's got all kinds of conversions on them. So use that conversion sheet that I already gave you and try some of these problems. Okay, I'm going to put you in your breakout room so you can compare answers. So work on that. I'll give you about, I don't know, 6 minutes.
It didn't take me to my, oh, there we go. There we go.
Doris, you want to go to your breakout room?
Oh yeah, it didn't let me for a second.
Oh, that's okay. All right, some of you are back. Can you see my screen? Can you see the key? So you can start checking your answers if you want while we wait for everyone else. All right, so you're back. You can start checking with the key that I have up. If you need me to scroll down in a minute, I will. Some people got done. I know you're like, what? How'd they get done? Well, this is something they know. They've learned it already. So nice. Some of you got them all right. That's awesome. So if you only did 10, but you got all 10 of those correct, that's awesome, right? So this is a very useful strategy, and you can use it for a long time. I use this a lot when I go between the two systems a lot. Good job. I love that you guys are saying you got them all right. I didn't spend a long time on this, but some of you just needed a quick refresher, especially if you're going on to chemistry or if you're taking the HESI exam. So you want me to scroll up? You check the rest. All right. So I do have an exit ticket for you today. It is 4 quick conversions. Don't write units in your answer. It'll mark them wrong. So just write the number because I have the units there for you. I will post these slides this afternoon. So if you want to do more of the slides or see more examples, you can. Tomorrow is a work day. So tomorrow we are going to be working in our groups, practicing, going over your rubric, checking each other's math, and that kind of thing. Right now, all your grades are in except your vehicle project. So all those zeros got put in. Some of you might be a little concerned about your grade right now. Me too. Some of you are riding a real fine line there, right? So you better do your what if and put in Canvas what scores you need to get the grade you want in the class. Yes, everybody knows how to do that? Good. I'm going to go back to this so you can see the exit ticket. I do have the key to this worksheet again in the coffee cup if you review the slides later on. And I have way too many slides in here, but it's good if you need examples for anything. So don't forget to sign up for a presentation time and let me know if you are working with a partner. You can absolutely present alone, no worries there. But if you're presenting with a partner, I need to know just so I make sure everybody got signed up. So, and if you didn't sign up, I'll still be calling on you just when we have an extra little slot and I'll say, oh, perfect, it's now your time to go. Yeah, don't forget you're going to submit that on Canvas by tomorrow night. You're just going to share the URL. If you're doing a Google slide, if you put it in PowerPoint, you can still put a PowerPoint up there. You'll just have to upload it. Any questions for me? Haley, can you see the QR code now? Good. Okay. I'm looking to see if we have any more time slots open. Looks like we have one slot on Thursday open at 11:33. It looks like we have lots of slots open on Monday, so many people must not have signed up.
I couldn't
And
figure
yep.
out how to sign up.
What?
I couldn't figure out how to sign up.
So did you see the video that I sent you with the directions on how to sign up? I
No.
emailed everybody the video.
No, I didn't get a video.
Did anybody else get an email from you with a video? Yeah, I sent it to the whole class. So are you checking your email in Canvas, Rocky?
Yeah. Is it a different email?
I sent it through Canvas. So, but if
Okay.
you go to the calendar on Canvas, then if you have our class clicked, then you'll see on the top right-hand side, it says you have to press the find appointment button. And then you can find an appointment. Yep.
Okay.
I can put the video back in the chat if I can find it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Haley, did you update your Chrome?
Yeah, it's been giving me a lot of problems with their stuff. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's something weird with the update that went through.
Mhm.
So you might have to, did they tell you to clear all your history and exit all the way out of your browser and reboot your system? Because it was a major update. Antoinette is having lots of trouble, right, Antoinette, with your Chromebook? Yeah, it's Google Chrome. It was a big mess. So if you do all those, you'll be fine. Yes, Jerice, you can work alone.
I'll try that. I'll email you if it doesn't work.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep, see you tomorrow. Yeah, Jerice, you can work alone on the project. Don't forget tomorrow's Crazy Sock Day. Those 4 of you that are left. I forgot to remind everyone.
Hey, Miss Klassen.
Yeah.
So I
What's up?
did the exit ticket and